course, the next step for it is the mass fabrication. But I'm gonna say the truth with you. I will not gonna show you the steps because this is very difficult to make. Because as you can see, it's not that expensive on those 7 components. Just circuits, thin cable, and a machining hole. But the problem lies on the field generator. Even at low voltage, each one requires 4 osmium wire, which is made from osmium. And where did we get osmium? That's a big problem. If you're playing on single player, you'll probably be quite safe. And if you're lucky, you'll maybe even find one of those harassed osmium veins. The other option, however, is to find iridium ore on each platinum vase on the overworld if you're lucky, or more into the end. But since this iridium ore on the end is limited in a server player like I am doing here, those who are slow-paced players will not have that much chance to get it enough. So the ones I have, I blocked from someone else. I made a trade with Bloody. I exchanged an osmium for with the 2000 compounders I had. You get your iridium ore for each node of the end, then you crush it to get 2, because 2 is better than 1. Then you probably should wanna chemical bath with mercury to get some platinum else, and then you go to the purified iridium dust, which you can do 2 things. You can use the pulverizer to make it a purified pile and have a small chance of getting a whole osmium dust. Really, you should really go for it. It's worth it. If you can get a full osmium dust, your life is gonna be a lot easier. Or you can just thermocentrifuge it and you get a tiny a tiny pin of osmium, and you get the centrifuged iridium ore, which you can pulverize again and try to get the chance. And you really should do this. If you want to go the other way, you can go. You're gonna end with the same thing as before. The tiny is normally the most secure way to get osmium, and you get 9 piles to make 1 osmium dust, and then you smelt the dust to get the ingot. Then you simply make the wire and make the field generator, taking in account that to make enough field generators for 1 basic mass fabricator and 1 basic replicator, which also require 1, and also 1 little dust to be scanned so you can actually replicate it later, you need a total of 7 full osmium dusts, and that from iridium ore only, without any luck into the pulverizer, is about a half stack of the ore. So that is a lot of iridium you need to get to actually starting replication and mass fabrication. But I already did it and make it enough for have more mass fabricators. Each one will consume 32 volts of 1 amperage to produce 1 liter of UU matter. That is just wait a bit. I now have a place at 1. Here's called the amplifier, and he gets out the liquid UU matter. Sorry about my sweet spigot. So let's enable it, and it will start running. As you can see, it will take about 10 milliseconds to finish. This is about somewhere near 120,000 EU to produce 1 liter of matter. But this is just plain straight EU matter production. If you do something else, like we have done with the creation of amplifier, well, it's done. As you can see, we have 1 UU matter, and I had injected some amplifier on it. So let us try this again, shall we? But now you see that it's now taking only 1/4 of time, so it's also taking just 1/4 of energy. So that's a good way to avoid using more energy than you want to make UU matter, and we have some here. All we have to do is to set the output to above and say to go. And now in this we have our precious UU matter. Now for the time, I should let this one keep running to produce UU matter, so I can make it, so I can have enough matter to later on replicate more osmium and have more mass fabricators to have it working no stop. But I have those here, so I can let them. Good thing I make them don't start immediately. I'm going with the pipes. Don't forget to set the output away from the pipe, or the amplifier will not flow into it. Let's place some pipes, so any UU matter goes to the our main input hatch for storage for now. Let's add those amplifiers to the machine. Have some, and have some. So this will be a great expend of energy, but it is required anyway, so go. Matter! Give us matter! But if you should go here, probably gonna see that my power is draining. But the system can keep 3 running non-stop. Except that I don't have the means to produce enough amplifier to actually keep them running forever. So when the amplifier is depleted, I'm gonna start using 4 times more energy and take you 4 times more time to have something. And it's growing. Now for the next step. This will be the place where the replication will happen. As you can see, we have a battery buffer here with 4 batteries and an input hatch to input the UU matter on the basic replicator. Easy recipe aside for the fusionator because it requires osmium, as I said before. Let us place down here and let's take a look. Ta-da! It's simple. Here goes the biomatter. You remember those data array we scanned? This one for zinc. All I need to do is place it here and wait to have enough biomatter to replicate the zinc. It will start. Simple, isn't it? So let's go down real quickly down there to demonstrate some of it. Yeah, and I know that using biomatter just to replicate zinc at so early is kind of a waste, but I am very aware of that. Wait, what? Really? Just because I remove one? Okay, I will stop. What are you doing my stuff? You go here, and you go here, and go. There we go. Let's put this back because those bitches are complaining. There we go. Now we have 4 amperage. Ah, crap. Now let's take this off before more appears. Good. Now let's go up there and disable it so not starting so quickly. Biomatter goes in, stay here, stir it. Now I could use a button, that's true. That's a good idea. Now start. But first let's see, we have this amount of biomatter. To replicate one zinc, it requires that much. And as you can see, it is slow going. It will take a lot of time and tons of energy to replicate one measly zinc. You see, you take all this time, all of it, consuming all energy. I guess it's 2 amperage of the voltage of the machine. Now that we have both matter and replication, now it's time to talk about the tiers of such machines. To be quite frank, it's not worth anything above basic. The biomatter will produce matter faster, half of the time, but it will also expend double the energy for the same amount. You not gain more, you only produce more. If energy is not an issue for you, then you can go up tiers. The same thing applies to the basic replicator. The only difference between tiers of replication is the amount of time it will take to replicate and the energy. The matter stays the same. And that is the GregTech basic replication way, but that doesn't mean it's all of it. We still have the help of the industrial craft with some replications. We still can make the scanner, the pattern storage, which is expensive, and the normal replicator. We just cannot make the normal mass fabricator because that is disabled. As you can see, I click, nothing appears. only GregTech is available. But should be asking, why would I make those machines? Why would I make a scanner, a pattern storage, and a replicator? Just let me cut the cable, because those things eat energy and the replication is happening here. That's one of the side of the RegTech and the replicator. Sure, you probably know that you can scan some ores into this industrial craft scanner. However, most of it, because our vanilla and industrial craft ores are disabled by GregTech. Well, industrial craft don't, but you can disable it, and it is normally disabled on hard mode servers. So let's live with no much choice. So the GregTech is the way to go, because we can scan the dust and get it for most everything that industrial craft have, but some are different. You can do still scan your iridium ore. You can do still scan plutonium, but also that is true. And I recently discovered a third one thing that only industrial craft can replicate and GregTech don't. One is lapis lazuli, because lapis is a gem, and GregTech only work with pure dust. And the other one is glowstone, which, despite being a dust, it's not pure, it's a lot of impure. So the reason you should probably want to build those three machines is to be able to replicate lapis lazuli and glowstone for your circuits, so there is no fighting over those resources. But there is also a little plus for us. The GregTech replicator works just like our other GregTech machines. So if we run out of power, it will have to start from the very beginning. This will make much recipes that take a long time, like plutonium and iridium, are somewhat pain in the ass if you don't have a good amount of surplus. However, since we can do the same stuff on the industrial craft one, it's good, because we can keep injecting EU matter and energy as it comes in. Like, it will take a long time to gather enough EU matter to replicate one plutonium with just 3 mass fabricators. I don't quite remember much, but it's a lot. I believe it's 220 liters. And you probably can see here. It is the value shows different, but it's actually the same. It's just they don't have that dot case. So it's actually more than 130 of a full cell of EU matter. And the GregTech will only start working when have enough of it. If I don't have, it will not start. However, the industrial will start, because it slowly produces it, losing power and energy. You're probably gonna feel the power a lot before the EU matter. But I'm talking this, but you probably want to see that. So let's grab some more. And here we go, last seconds. It's about to finish this. And we have our zinc. Yay, we have zinc. Now, that was just to show you what I speak before was true. Let's replace the data orb with this one with plutonium that I had from the previous play on Kirara 1. As you see, even if I say to start, it won't start. Why? Because there is not EU matter for it to work, actually. And now let's go to the Ice-2 replicator with the plutonium set to. As you can see, I have none EU matter and little energy. So let's add some EU matter. 6 millibuckets. That's not even it enough. However, I can say to run, and it will go. Oh, but it's already run out of the EU matter, but it started working. So in a setup like that produces EU matter slowly over time, this one is probably best to use than this one, because you need to wait to have all the EU matter. That's what I did on the Kirara 1. I made one mass fabricator, connected this replicator, say to continuous run, and just keep my trunk loaded. So slowly over time I build enough plutonium, because plutonium is the another power source that I speak earlier, and you probably know what I mean, don't you? Let's get our containment box and see what we have here. We have the pellets of RBTG fuel. This is what I am talking about, because they use dense iron plate and plutonium to give us power. I ironically have more thermal generators than the RTGs, because it happened to, when we update the Minecraft to 1.7.10, the industrial craft changed the way RTGs are, and all I have was lost. So that's why I have so little. It's not enough to fill one of those. So let's grab our protective hazmat suit and go down. I said that I will have another way to generate power here, did you remember? Well, I was talking about the RTGs actually. My plan was to make a setup like this with sensors on the other side, but for now I don't have the resource, so I'll just attach to the cable anyway. Now all that's left is to get our pellets out of the protective place. And as you can see here, my power is kind of struggling and depleting because of the mass fabricators and some machinery that is running. I need more power, so let's add those and wait some time for it to update and start working. Anytime soon. Here we go. And now power is still struggling, but now it is going up. As I make more RTGs and added more of it, I will have more power. The tooltips say they still only produce 16. Is this right? I truly hope not, but oh, that's okay. It is infinite power, and this is basically this cycle for a time. Use the mass fabricator, make more plutonium, make more RTGs to make more energy, to make more mass fabricator, to make more matter, to make more plutonium, to make more RTGs, until you have all the power you need. Well, unfortunately my 2 data storage are full, so I need to make another one. So let's make our third one, and this time, since we know that shipper don't means nothing, just make a high voltage one. Now all that's left is to place it, and that's a problem. I need to take this one out. Yes, I need plate the buffer here. Wrench it. No, wrench it. Wrench it. And now put the storage on it. And now we have another data storage buffer. Ta-da! Now I can store my items.